Fans, and welcome to Pro Wrestling International's Wrestling Fever. I'm your hostess, Laura Angelique, and I'm joined today, as always, by my co-host, the Texas Playboy, Dallas James. Got a really exciting show lined up here for you today. You'll see a lot of great, exciting wrestlers. You'll have Billy Joe Eaton, Superstar TJ Powers, Big Rig Rollins. Then for our Classics match, which my co-host will be introducing and telling you a little bit about there, will be Chief Jay Strongbow. And also for our feature match of the day, we'll have the Bounty Hunter up against Gentleman Johnny Walker, someone that Dallas knows a little bit about here.
The Bounty Hunter, that's right. I do know the Bounty Hunter. He's from Tombstone, Arizona. Wait a minute, Walker's from Tucson, Arizona. Ooh, I don't think that's going to work. I think when this is over with, we'll only have one wrestler from Arizona, and it won't be Walker.
So you don't think PWI is big enough for two Arizona boys?
Nope.
Don't think so?
Nope.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll keep our fans tuned into that one here later. And a lot of excitement unfolded last night. Dallas, I had a few questions for you on that one. The tag team tournament?
Yes, the tag team tournament. Oh, that was, what about it?
I bet you enjoyed that, didn't you?
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that, very much so.
The first thing I kind of wondered on the match with Fire and Ice, you seem to have predicted that wouldn't go very well in their favor.
Well, you had the Ninjas. You have Superstar TJ Powers. You have the Professor. I told you simpletons, that Fire and Ice wouldn't survive, and they didn't.
But what about the interference? Dallas, what was he doing out there?
What interference?
The interference from outside the ring. What was he doing out there? That's what the fans are going to want to know.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. And, you know, there was another tag team match I was thinking of, kind of, those James boys?
Oh, now, we're not even going to bring that up. I told you people, and I told you, and I told the director of this program, and I told Dave, he come down to my house and asked me about that.
Sure did.
I did not want to be in a tag match. My brother and I had never tagged up for a match of that magnitude. And I do.
You're really good. You guys didn't look so good. Just kind of, well, you looked awful.
I didn't want to be a tag team wrestler. I want to go back after Bobo Brazil Jr. And that's something else we're going to talk about. He's wrestling everybody coming up but me, and I'm the #1 contender.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that, and we'll in the next few weeks go into a little more on the tag team tournament, what develops with that.
Hope Mom's happy.
For right now, let's get to our first match. Really exciting wrestler, young, really moving out quick here at PWI. Here's Billy Joe Eaton, fans. Take a good look at him.
The Professor.
Well, there you see it, wrestling fans. Here we are again for another edition of PWI Wrestling Fever. And there in the ring right now, you see the manager of the tag team of the Ninjas, the Professor. But today he's up against one of the rising stars in the PWI Wrestling Fever action, and that's Billy Joe Eaton, the man out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's Billy Joe Eaton brings a lot of style, a lot of pizzazz here to the PWI, and he, we believe, can take it to the Professor right now. Action about to get underway in this, well, there it is, right away, the Professor, using one of the surprise attacks that we often see from the tag team, the Ninjas, has gone right at Billy Joe Eaton. Unable to get his vest off yet. The Professor taking it to him with a headbutt, taking Billy Joe down to the canvas. Elbow to the back of the neck, and a series of kicks there. The Professor, sidebuster across the back, has not let up on Billy Joe. Billy Joe yet to get his vest off here in wrestling action. And the Professor applying his version of the bow and arrow. Painful move. Painful. And taking it to Billy Joe Eaton. Billy Joe yet to gain his composure here. Suplex back and over on Billy Joe Eaton. Professor may be making short order of Billy Joe right here. In the opening moments of this match, Professor has Planted an all-out sneak attack on Billy Joe, taking him into the ropes right now. Kicking, sets him up off the ropes. Vicious maneuver there by the Professor, going for the cover. Billy Joe kicking out. Professor not getting a good lock on the leg there. Now he brings him back up. Professor taking a chop to the side of the neck of Billy Joe Eaton, who is really taking a vicious beating here. The Professor again going to the throat of Billy Joe Eaton. And now raising himself to the second rope. Comes off, try a flying sawbuster, misses. And it looks like Billy Joe is ready to return the attack. Vicious sledgehammer across the back of the Professor. Billy Joe sets him up. Beautiful move. Billy Joe showing what the metal is made of here in the PWI. Trying for a quick cover. Billy Joe Eaton rising to the top here in the PWI. Body slam. Takes the Professor back down to the mat. Sets him up. Takes a sawbuster across the chest of the Professor. Now it looks like the tide has turned in favor of Billy Joe Eaton. Another flying sawbuster. And the hook the leg now. Professor able to kick out on a 2 count. And Billy Joe wondering if the referee can't hurry the count up just a little more. Set him up off the rope. Flying clothesline takes the Professor down to the canvas. Right now we're seeing what this man is made of. Setting him up, looks like he's setting him up for the suplex. Up and over, beautifully maneuvered. A lot of weight coming down on that canvas there. A lot of leverage with weight coming back. Billy Joe takes him to the turnbuckle. Showing him next door to the next one. Billy Joe Eaton, the man out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it looks like the Professor has reached the end of his ropes here as Billy Joe introduces him to the turnbuckle. Quick mare there. As Billy Joe sets up, snap, back. Looks like Billy Joe's ready for a cover. Billy Joe, 1-2 count, kick out by the Professor. As we know, the Professor, the manager of the Ninjas, who have advanced here in the tag team tournament. Professor stepping in here on his own, and the big question is, as we've heard announced, that TJ Powers has bought the rights to the Ninjas. We were, in fact, I was supposed to have TJ Powers out here with me this afternoon, but not quite sure where he is, whether he's back here monitoring the situation, whether he's going to come on out here to ringside or not. I'm sure the Professor would like to see him show up about now. As Billy Joe Eaton seems to be setting the Professor up for a finishing touch here. There we see him from the top coming down. This flying death leap here covering the Professor. And there we have the 3 count.
Billy Joe Eaton, the winner, again, Billy Joe.
Your victor here in the first match on PWI's Wrestling Fever. And now let's go to What's Happening. For PWI Wrestling Fever, I'm Dave Yearwood, and once again, this is What's Happening. The words are sure heating up between the 2 wrestlers, Superstar TJ Powers, the man with the money, and the Lightning Rod, the man with the muscle. Back and forth, the words have been exchanged, and what we want to see now is the exchange of the pins to sign that contract to get into the squared circle. I recently talked to Superstar about this situation. Let's hear what he does have to say.
Superstar TJ Power, the man from Atlantic City, New Jersey, always a #1 contender here in the PWI, and right now,
I got something to say. There's somebody coming from Chicago as a lifeguard. What do they call him? Lightning Bolt?
the Lightning Rod.
Yeah, he looks like a rod. I got something to say. Lifeguards don't do nothing but sit on their butt, and you know, coming from Chicago, there ain't nothing for him to do. because you know people in Chicago don't swim. Well, Lightning Rod, I heard the scuttlebutt. You said you come here and you want to become a man in a man's sport. Come and find me, because I've been around and I've took the best and I've taken them all down. Lightning Rod, I'm looking for you. Look over your shoulder, look over your back, because you're going to find the superstar. It's not hard to find, and if you want me, call me. I will be there.
Lightning Rod, you got the challenge from one of the big ones here in the PWI, the superstar, TJ Powers.
Welcome back, fans. We've got another really exciting match lined up for you here. We've got Big Rig Rollins, the king of the highways and the byways, trucking on across America. And this is a wrestler that a lot of our fans really enjoy. And however, I don't think you really enjoyed him last night when you were wrestling, did you?
Oh, no. We just have to keep talking about last night. Last night. That was one match. I said it to Bobo Brazil Jr., and I'll say it to Big Rig and Walker. One match does not make a career.
It's a good thing. You wouldn't have much of a career building on that match.
It was my brother, that idiot.
Oh, you guys
send him back to Europe.
I don't know. You guys look like a bunch of preschoolers out there running around, didn't know which way you were going, what you were doing, Dallas.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
Well, everybody just jump on Big Rig Semi. Just jump on the bandwagon going down the road.
Well, those guys sure look like they knew what they were doing out there. And I don't know that they've ever tagged up together before either, but they, just like clockwork, working it out. Anyhow, let's take a look here, get on with the show today, and see Big Rig Rollins in action. Watch him break through, fans. Here he goes, Big Rig Rollins.
Watch him fall through.
Well, in our next bout here, we've got a wild-looking one of sorts here in the man from Cleveland, Jason Maples, sporting a haircut that,
Weighing in.
well, Mr. T, I don't know if Mr. T would even wear a haircut like this. But the opponent this big man is going to have to face sizes up very well with this 300-pounder. And now we're going to see Big Rig Rollins from the highways and byways of America, America's favorite trucker, Big Rig Rollins. Coming in here today to face another big man, Jason Maples. Big Rig in here, fresh off of the match where, as you've heard in the past few weeks, him and gentleman Johnny Walker put out the challenge to the James boys. Austin James, the Lone Ranger, and his brother, Dallas James, finally entered the ring. As you heard the interview down there in Alvarado, Texas, went down there to try and get things going. That didn't do it. And the fans here kept writing in, kept calling in on the hotline, and people wanted to see this match with Big Rig Rollins. Gentleman Johnny Walker with the James boys finally get in there. Dallas James did finally accept. He didn't want to take it, but he finally accepted, with him and his brother entering into the ring with Rollins and Walker, and well, things just didn't fare well for the James boys. But right now, Big Rig's got another one cut out for him here. Big man Jason Maples, 300-pounder from Cleveland, Ohio. Wild-looking dude of sorts. One audacious-looking haircut and one audacious clothesline, taking him to the mat there. Big Rig going for the cover. Maples able to kick out here. Favorite son trucker of America, Big Rig Rollins. He's also still active partner with Indiana's favorite son, Cousin Bubba. The good old boys still are active in the tag team tournament here to decide who will be the champion tag team of the PWI. Big Rig Rollins and Cousin Bubba still vying for that title, along with several other teams here in the PWI action. Big Rig takes the elbow smash across the chest of Mr. Maples there. Helps Maple back up, over into the turnbuckle. Oh, mercy. Some 400 pounds taken to the corner with, unfortunately, Jason Maples between him and the turnbucker. And another clothesline takes Maples down. And there you have it. Blockbuster defeating another wrestler here in the PWI. The big man, Big Rig Rollins, victorious here on Wrestling Fever.
Well, fans, just as I predicted, Big Rig Rollins was definitely effective there with his roadblock buster, just crashed right through his opponent, defeated him with no problem at all. Kind of similar to his match last night with you, Dallas.
Wait a minute. He never pinned me last night. He never put that roadblock buster on me, and he's not going to.
Sure did defeat you and your brother in that tag team match, though, didn't he? With
They didn't pin it. Did they pin us? They didn't pin me. They didn't pin my brother. And we're not ever going to submit. We just didn't work things out, so we took some extreme measures.
Well, I'm certainly seeing your opinion here, but I'm sure the fans at home really are enjoying Big Rig Rollins. He seems to be a very powerful wrestler, and we're all pretty impressed with him here. Except for maybe one of us. Regardless, fans, we'd like to take you now to PWI Live so you can see where we'll be on location, and come on out and join us.
Pro Wrestling International is coming to the Indianapolis Event Center on Saturday, February the 11th, with a 7 p.m. bell time. The Indianapolis Event Center, located at 3653 East Raymond Street. This is a special TV taping of PWI's Wrestling Fever. In addition, you'll see the championship match of the PWI Tag Team Tournament. The PWI World Tag Team Champions will be crowned on Saturday, February the 11th at 7 p.m. at the Indianapolis Event Center, located at 3653 East Raymond Street. The PWI World Champion, Bobo Brazil Jr., will be in attendance. He'll be squaring off against the Bounty Hunter. All tickets are $5. Doors open at 6 p.m. Action gets underway at 7. Pro Wrestling International, Saturday, February the 11th at 7 p.m. at the Indianapolis Event Center, located at 3653 East Raymond Street.
Welcome back, fans. And now for our next match, we've got a really exciting wrestler, one a little more of Dallas's type of wrestler, superstar TJ Powers, and he'll be up against one of our more unusual wrestlers here, the Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet, is he still walking around after the Bounty Hunter destroyed him a few weeks ago? I didn't know he got out. Well, TJ, all he needs is a fly swat. Is it the Green Hornet or is it the Turquoise Hornet? I'm not sure. You see that shirt? Well, anyway, TJ will destroy this man. And, well, since you're over there taking a nap, let's go watch the Superstar in action.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at 247 pounds, the Green Hornet.
There he is, fans. This is Dave Yearwood, and you're looking at the Superstar, TJ Powers. One of the big names here in the PWI. A man that is serious, very serious about his business, and he's ready to go at today the Green Hornet. But as we've been hearing quite a bit now for the last couple of weeks, there's one man he would like to really get to, and that is none other than the Lightning Rod. And right now, the Green Hornet arm drags on Superstar, showing he's got some wrestling ability himself. Going right at the Superstar. Holds up a little too long. TJ, knowing a little bit more than what the Green Hornet does, blocks the maneuver. and takes him down right away with a vicious clothesline. And there you hear him, TJ immediately going to the taunts to the lightning rod. Taunting the lightning rod, telling him to come on out. This is you, and it'll be you. TJ Powers sets up, blocks the move. Oh, vicious neck breaker there by TJ Powers. Looks like could he be setting him up for the shooting star here, fans? Here comes the shooting star, superstar. TJ Powers hooks the leg, covers for a quick victory here in PWI. But it hasn't ended there. Superstar continues to pummel the Green Hornet. Going back up again. Taking it to the Green Hornet, not letting up after the bell. Vicious knee off the top rope, across the forehead of the Green Hornet. Referee counting him out here. Still yelling for the lightning rod, telling him this is for him. TJ Powers taking it to the Green Hornet, wanting to believe that's the lightning rod right there. And the lightning rod has come to the scene, ready to answer the call. Begging TJ Powers to enter the ring right now. Lightning rod makes his entrance, opening the ropes, wanting Superstar to come in. And TJ Powers telling you who's number one, bad-mouthing for weeks here. Calling him an unemployed, out-of-work lifeguard. The man from Chicago, the Windy City, the Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod inside the ring, ready to accept the challenge. Wanted TJ Powers to come back inside. Not sure when it's going to come down, but when these two titans finally meet in the ring, it's going to break loose. There you hear it.
Fans, as you can see, TJ was able to defeat the Green Hornet there without too much of a problem.
TJ, that's Superstar.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Super Ego TJ Powers. He was able to defeat his opponent without too much problem, as I said.
Ego.
Super Ego. But after the match is over, the bell's already rang, the match is ended. He still, unrelentlessly, is in there pounding on his opponent. The match is over. That is just uncalled for.
I liked it.
You would like it. It's ridiculous. There's no point to that. That is not wrestling. That's not what wrestling is about.
Ask the Green Hornet what wrestling's all about. He was laying on his back counting lights.
Well, somebody else did manage to step in there a little bit, though, kind of.
That's right. What was Lightning Rod doing in there? He wasn't signed to this match.
He was getting TJ to stop when his match was over. Somebody had to do it. He's not smart enough to do it on his own, obviously. Doesn't he know that the bell means the match is over? It's time to go into the next match?
Well, Lightning Rod's going to be hearing bells. If he don't get out of Superstar's business, he's going to be on the mat next time.
You know, I really hope Lightning Rod does hear a bell starting his match up against TJ. I'd like to see that match. And
if he'd signed the contract, there'd be a match.
Well, TJ's mouthing that he wants to take Lightning Rod, then why didn't he do it when he was right there in front of him last night?
Because he knew better. He wasn't in the match last night to wrestle Lightning Rod. He had signed to wrestle someone else. Okay. He didn't want to get suspended. And that's what happens to wrestlers like TJ Powers. You fans right into the that commissioner.
Well, fans, anyhow, our next segment is a really exciting part. I'd like to let my co-host here introduce this. It's our Wrestling Classics, which will have Chief Jay Strongbow. Can you tell our fans a little about him, Dallas?
Chief Jay Strongbow. Now, the wrestling fans here in Indianapolis may not know a whole lot about this man. This man wrestled more on the East Coast than he did here in the Midwest. But he did hold the WWF Tag Team title on 2 separate occasions. Once with a wrestler named Sonny King, and later with his brother Jules Strongbow. This man is probably the best Indian wrestler known around the world. He is a member of the current WWF Hall of Fame, as was another legend that we had on here a few weeks ago, Bobo Brazil. He was recently inducted, Mr. Strongbow was. We're going to look back today at a match with Chief Jay Strongbow in 1977, and this was filmed in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, Chief Jay Strongbow was a fan favorite, so obviously he wasn't the smartest of wrestlers. But let's look now at the famous Chief.
From Oklahoma, weighing 248 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Jay Strongbow. And his opponent from Seattle, Washington, 235 pounds, Bobby Fulton. You're going to see some excellent action in this match. Chief is back, and we're glad to have him, too. What a superb wrestler he is, and if you've never had the opportunity to see Chief Jay Strongbow in action, glue yourself to that television set and watch closely, because he's going to show you some moves like you've never seen before. The Chief and Bobby Fulton, who is a little bit in awe of the Chief, who just gracefully in and out of the ring. This man is just so smooth. When you talk about a smooth wrestler, that's Chief Jay Strongbow, all right. Bobby Fulton, a little in awe and quite a bit overwhelmed thus far by the Chief. Arm drag. And there goes Fulton, second one. And Fulton going to take a stroll on the outside of the ring. Referee Pat Shane puts in the count to Bobby Fulton, who evidently has collected his thoughts. He's back in the middle of the ring, and off the ropes goes the Chief. And where he stops, nobody knows. Right down in between Fulton's legs, comes back with an elbow. And Fulton doesn't quite know what is hitting. Another arm drag, and Fulton retreats to the safety of the corner. Going to think things over again and try to come up with a new strategy. And this is the way it is with most of Chief Jay Strongbow's opponents. And we can mention there people like Bulldog Don Kent. Bulldog has, of course, met Chief Jay Strongbow many times in the past. Old score to settle between those two. It'll be interesting to see what happens now with the return of Chief Jay Strongbow. Fulton's got the Chief in the corner, puts on the side headlock. We're trying to anyway. There goes the Chief into the corner, but Fulton was going for something, but unfortunately found nobody there to do it to. And he is hooked, got his foot hooked on the turnbuckle. The referee is going to have to undo him there. No, he might have sprained his ankle on that one, evidently not. Tomahawk chop from Chief Jay Strongbow. And can you imagine what would happen with a man like Bulldog Don Kent or the Sheik against Chief Jay Strongbow? Couple of good bouts there. I don't want to play matchmaker, but I'll tell you what, those are just two of the guys I'd like to see go against the Chief, and I'm sure the Chief would have no objections. He's after the toughest and the best. I'll tell you, those moves from Chief Jay Strongbow. This Fulton is confused. Not a very auspicious debut on big-time wrestling for Bobby Fulton. Not looking too good. The Chief is showing his years of experience, accumulation of that ability and wrestling knowledge, and the skill and ease with which he conducts himself in that ring. He's a wrestler who's continually learning, continually striving for improvement. I don't know how he could get much better, really. Off the ropes goes the Chief again through the legs and caught him with a tomahawk chop. Well, I may be laughing, but I guarantee you Bobby Fulton isn't. It's just a little humorous the way the Chief just totally has got Fulton balking there again. He does it. Fulton says, wait a minute, what's he doing? Bobby Fulton probably wishes that he hadn't set the alarm clock this morning. And what will the Chief come up with next? Little war dance there. There he is, Chief Jay Strongbow. If you read the National Wrestling publications at all, you're well familiar with the Chief's career. A lot of men have tried to take advantage of this guy in the past. And the reason for that is because he is one of the top wrestlers in the world. Therefore, he's the target for men who are trying to get where he already is. And he takes a lot of abuse from people. There he goes, right through the referee's legs on the outside. And Fulton wasn't coming back in soon enough for him. And I told you about the Chief being the target of a lot of men, and there's one of them. Bulldog Don Kent giving some advice to Bobby Fulton. The crowd immediately, on spying the Bulldog at ringside, starts to bark at him. The Chief now is aware of the presence of a Bulldog. Unfortunately, though, Fulton, creeping up from behind, has got the Chief momentarily off guard. Let's see what happens. The Bulldog is coaching from the outside, combination of a coach and a cheerleader for Bobby Fulton, but the Chief is angered. The Chief, I think, has lost his temper. Double-headed chop, he's in. This could be it. Yeah, that is it. Now the Chief is ready to Kent. The winner of the fall and the match is Chief Jay Strong.
Welcome back, fans. Up next, we'll have our feature match, which will be the Bounty Hunter up against Gentleman Johnny Walker. Would you like to share your thoughts on that one, Dallas? I'm sure you have some.
Walker's done.
Think
He's
so.
done. There's only one man from Arizona after this day's over. Bounty Hunter.
So you think that's the end of him in PWI? I think that's the end of his wrestling career? What are you trying to say here?
Whose?
Of Gentleman Johnny's.
Right.
You think it's the end? That's what you're saying.
The end is
end
near.
of what?
The end is near. He's done. Have you seen what this Bounty Hunter is capable of doing? First of all, when Big Rig Rollins attacked the Lone Ranger a few weeks ago, after the match was over, the Bounty Hunter came to the aid of a fellow Westerner.
Interfered.
Big Rig.
Sure did.
Didn't interfere, the match was over. Then we saw what he did to the Green Hornet. Of course, doesn't take a whole lot. Walker, you're next. You're done. So fans, don't go get a soda pop, because if you like Gentleman Johnny Walker, this is his last match coming up right here.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Dallas. I think Gentleman Johnny's got a lot of support behind him, a lot of fans really pulling for him.
But that's not going to help him against this big monster.
I think that'll help him out. Let's take a look here
One of
and
them's got a
see
fast
what
car.
happens. We'll see what happens here with Gentleman Johnny Walker up against the Bounty Hunter. Let's take a look, fans.
Fans, this is Dave Muirwood here, and your feature match on Wrestling Fever today is what we're going to see is the battle for Arizona. The battle for the rights to call the state of Arizona theirs and theirs only. We will see today the Bounty Hunter from Tombstone, Arizona, the scourge of Tombstone, the Bounty Hunter. And he will be facing one of the PWI's favorites, none other than the pride of Tucson, Arizona, Gentleman Johnny Walker.
From Tucson, Arizona.
Johnny Walker.
226 pounds.
As we've seen and we've heard about for the past couple weeks,
The former PWI
teaming up with Big Rig Rollins to meet the James Boy. Right now he has got another big man to face, and that is the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter from Tombstone, Gentleman Johnny from Tucson, Arizona, fighting for the rights to claim the state of Arizona as theirs and theirs only. Gentleman Johnny now being checked over by the referee, and we're ready to get this bout underway. Sizing up against the big man, definitely size in the favor of the Bounty Hunter. Both men sizing each other up in the referee's hold here. And Gentleman Johnny pushes him back into the corner. And now sizing him up again as
Hey,
the
Dave,
two.
do you mind if I have a seat?
Well, I thought I was going to have some help here today, but I thought it was going to be a superstar, but it looks like I'm going to have to settle for my old co-host here, the man from Alvarado, Texas, one half of the James brother combination.
Now wait a minute. Don't push
Dallas
that too
James.
much. I'm still the Texas Playboy and still going after Bobo Brazil. This Junior. I am not teaming up with my brother ever again.
Well, I think you might fare on the right plane there by just keeping it on the solo destiny here after Bobo Brazil Jr. because, well, as many of the fans saw, well,
Do yourself a favor. Don't talk about it.
let's move on to the action of the ring here. I'm sure you're interested in seeing Mr. Walker here after seeing him not too long ago.
Well, I think this could be the end of Mr. Walker. I think the battle for Arizona here. Both of these men are from Arizona. Did you know that?
Yes, as we were telling the fans here before you joined us here at ringside, we've got the man from Tombstone, the scourge of Tombstone, the bounty hunter, in there with the pride of Tucson, Arizona.
No,
Gentlemen.
no, wait a minute. Why can't the bounty hunter be the pride of Tombstone?
Maybe he will earn the right to be the pride here. Right now, he's got to earn it in there against one gentleman, Johnny Walker.
We've seen the bounty hunter take out a lot of men here in PWI, and I think this is another one going to be added to the list today. You know, I got a lot of interest in this match. Walker's still hounding me about that knee injury a few months ago. Walker, you're old news, and now there's a lot of speculation that the bounty hunter and I have some sort of ties, just because.
Speculation?
That's what I said, speculation. Just because a few weeks ago he came out to assist the Lone Ranger. I know. My brother, Austin James, but I still maintain we do not know that that was my brother under the mask at that time.
Right now, maintaining the upper hand in this, gentleman Johnny Walker, working on the bounty hunter right here.
Let me go on the record as saying that I have no association other than a lot of respect for the bounty hunter.
No doubt he is one of the wrestlers in contention for the title that you so well covet.
You know, that brings up another interesting point. This Saturday night at the Indianapolis Event Center, Bobo Brazil Jr., the champion, is going to meet the bounty hunter. It's been signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, I really don't have a problem per se with that. But then again, why is Bobo Brazil Jr. wrestling this man as opposed to giving me my much-deserved rematch? That's what I want to know. I think he's ducking me.
Well, I'm sure that Bobo Brazil Jr. is not afraid to defend her title against anyone here. And it was the decision of the commissioner, Mr. Sandora, that this match be signed. And whether you have to get in line and wait with the others.
Well, I got a copy of the ringside report right here in front of me, and I still can read, and it says Dallas James is the #1 contender. But yet Bobo Brazil Jr. has got a match with the bounty hunter this Saturday night. Now, I do believe we'll have a new champion this Saturday night, and I don't have a problem with that. But I still want my rematch with Bobo Brazil. Then, to top that off, on the 25th of this month at Decatur Central High School, the champion, it's been signed as of now, Bobo Brazil Jr. will wrestle superstar TJ Powers. Do you realize if the bounty hunter wins that match next weekend, then he would have to take the place of Bobo, and it would be the bounty hunter against superstar.
Vicious assault and battery in that ring that night. Bounty hunter and superstar TJ Powers. Man,
I'd pay to see that.
well, you plan to be at that card, Dallas James?
I will be at Decatur Central. I don't know who I'm going to wrestle at this time. Obviously, it's not going to be Bobo because he's signed to wrestle Superstar. But I'm sure maybe I'll wrestle Walker. Nah, he's old news. I don't really want to wrestle him.
Well, that remains to be seen, but right now, Walker in the upper hand here.
But you can bet it won't be a tag match I'll be in.
I think you better choose your partners a little more wisely. And there it is, the Cactus Jam off the top rope across the chest of the Bounty Hunter. Many a wrestler has met his fate on that.
Yeah, but look, the Bounty Hunter's up.
Up and out. And trying to catch the respite there on the outside of the ring as the referee continues to count those 10 numbers out. Will the Bounty Hunter make his way back? Well, out here comes.
What's Walker doing going
Mr.
outside the ring?
Outside, tried to encourage him to return to the middle of that squared circle there. Johnny Walker, I'm sure, trying to help him back in there. As Johnny introduces him to that metal
now, what's he
cactus
doing
on that
out
side
there?
of the ring here.
Bounty Hunter was outside the ring and Walker went outside. That should be a disqualification of gentleman Johnny
we've got
Walker.
the bell right there, and what's the referee going to call it here?
I think the Bounty Hunter should win.
Bounty Hunter's claiming victory. Well, Dallas.
Well, has the referee made a decision?
Looks like he's proclaiming
A double count out, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, a double count out.
Double
That's not right.
Double count out.
End of this match here on Wrestling Fever. Stay tuned for our final words.
And with him no more.
Well, fans, unfortunately, we don't have much of an outcome on that match for you.
Well, sure.
Both wrestlers, Gentleman Johnny Walker
He didn't do
and Bounty
anything
Hunter,
right.
double
He hit me and
disqualification.
I hit him.
But as you can see, Gentleman Johnny was certainly pulling his own there.
I'll get
Carried
my
most of the match.
Okay.
Certainly was able to defend himself against Bounty Hunter.
Who won?
It was double disqualification. We didn't have a winner. But if you were watching, you would have seen that Gentleman Johnny was all over
He
Bounty
was
Hunter.
all over the mat, wasn't he?
No. Bounty
Roll
Hunter
that
was.
again.
Well, we'll have to let you catch up on it later, but Bounty Hunter was certainly wiping up some stains on the mat there. Wasn't Gentleman Johnny. He was certainly in control of that match. Unfortunately, we did end with a double disqualification, so hopefully we can get...
Play that again. I can't believe that.
Dallas, can you stay off the phone and just do your job here and, stay with us? The fans at home are wanting to move on. We want to see a little more excitement.
Well, just tell them all about the excitement then.
I certainly will. As you can see, fans, double disqualification with Bounty Hunter and Gentleman Johnny. But now we want to take you to PWI Live so you can see where we will be at to come out and catch Wrestling Fever.
Wrestling fans, don't miss this. Pro Wrestling International is headed to Decatur Central High School on Saturday, February 25th with a 6 p.m. bell time. Winter War 95 features 2 PWI championship matches. The PWI heavyweight title will be on the line when Bobo Brazil Jr. defends against superstar TJ Powers. In addition, the PWI Tag Team Championship will be decided when the James Boys square off against the top contending Good Old Boys, Cousin Bubba, and Big Rig Rollins. This plus 4 more big matches, a fundraiser for Decatur Metro Hawks. Advance tickets are priced at $6 for adults, $4 for children ages 6 through 12, and are available at Chuck's Market at 5020 Kentucky Avenue. At the door, tickets are $7 and $5. Once again, wrestling fans, don't miss this. Pro Wrestling International is headed to Decatur Central High School on Saturday, February 25th with a 6 p.m. bell time. Be there!
Well, fans, I'm afraid that's winding down our time for today.
But you did get to see lots of exciting wrestling.
Billy Joe Eaton.
That's right, superstar.
Lots of excitement going on here, not to mention our classic match with the Chief. A lot of excitement, fans.
I still want to see the Bounty Hunter.
Dallas, when the show's over, you can go, you can see the Bounty
Hey,
Hunter.
get that director, turn that back on.
While you're at it, you can call the hotline, and that way maybe you can catch up on what's going on here.
I know what's going on.
I'm sure you do.
I know what's going on.
Let me tell the fans at home what's going on.
What's
Next
going on?
week, right here on Wrestling Fever, we will crown the champions in the tag team tournament.
The Ninjas.
And maybe the Ninjas, but I can tell you one thing, it'll be better than the two that we saw wrestling last night.
That's right, Fire and Ice look terrible.
They're not the only ones that look terrible. But fans, come here next week and you'll see it. We will be crowning the champions right here. So stay tuned. Fans, gotta wrap it up. I'm your hostess, Laura Angelique. For me and my co-host, Dallas James.
Next week, we're going to crown the champions?
Next week, right here.
I got to watch that. I'll be here.
Okay, I hope so. I hope so. Anyhow, fans, that's all for today. Remember, fans, Wrestling Fever. Catch it.